right. Moving on to the team that finished seventh, which was the Chennai Super Kings, who went into the auction needing a bit of a rebuilding job because they got rid of a lot of experienced Indian players, but they did sign Uthappa before. So here's who they got: Krishnappa Gautam for a whopping 9.25 was it or 7.5? Moin Ali 7 something. K. Bhagat Varma, C. Hari Nishant, M. Hari Sankar Reddy, and the only man in the whole auction to cause a round of applause from everyone over there, Cheteshwar Pujara, for a base price of 50 lakhs. So let's go with Kabir first. Kabir, what do you think of Chennai's auction?
I don't know. I mean, interesting, right? Interesting strategy to go for big all-rounders. Moeen, Krishna Gautam, and then Bhagat Varma. Interesting strategy. I think it definitely filled a gap. But yeah, I'll just go with interesting overall.
Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting word. Noor?
Yeah, I mean, interesting, but I also think like a very Dhoni strategy of like trying to fill your team with off spinning all rounders. Like it's like just I think it's a very Dhoni thing to do. I mean, they were obviously going after Maxwell. Maxwell was their first choice, but I mean, CSK didn't really have the wallet to spend that much money, so they went for Moeen Ali. I think that was a smart choice. I think he adds a lot there. The only thing I was thinking of, maybe they could have added like an international opener, but Ali can also like double as that.
So
But if you,
a backup for Faf, basically.
yeah, essentially, yeah. But then Ali can play that role. But then who plays low? So I thought maybe they can have one more. I thought like Hales or a Roy would have been good for them. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting. The all rounder. I'm glad K Gautam went for so much money. He's a really good talent. So I mean, well deserved. So I mean, I'm really interested to see how this team performs, because it's not like they went they stuck to their strategy of like spending not over 10 crore for any player, and then yeah, they've never bought.
They were going to like 14
Yeah, but
for
then
Glenn
I mean they
Maxwell.
didn't get Maxwell, right? But then imagine if they went for Maxwell, they couldn't have gotten Gotham. They wouldn't have had the budget, maybe.
I
So
think,
like,
yeah. Sorry, yeah.
yeah, no. I mean, I think it's an interesting. I agree. It's interesting, and I'm really intrigued to see how this setup works in the IPL. And I
Yeah,
think if it's
sorry.
in India, it'll work a lot better than if it's in the UAE.
I actually think going for having Moeen and Gotham is better than having just Maxwell. I think together those two make up a better player. Or on their, I just I think
I
they're
don't
better
think
than
you can
Maxwell.
fit both.
Maxwell is
I
hot
don't
and
think
cold.
you can fit both of them into the 11.
They might not both be playing, but I think like to give you more options, it's better because Moeen's gonna bat more than he bowls. Actually, I don't know what role he'll play for the Chennai team. Because he's played.
If you
different
look
roles
at this
for England as
Chennai team, though, where
well.
are you fitting in these players? Because there's so many options like that are playing in the top order, and there are so many all-round options. I mean, they've got a lot of options.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they have that many options actually, because I think that with that top order, I think so many of that whoever bats in top four is going to be the same batsman, right? They're not going to have much variation in the style of batsman there is. And I think what they could have gone for is a batsman who's perhaps a little bit more attacking in that top four.
Which is what they tried
play that
with
role.
Maxwell.
Exactly. That's what Moeen might do, but I don't know if he's as effective as Maxwell would have been. He's more of a 5-6 batsman, not top four, and I just wonder if they could have gone a little bit more firepower at the top.
Yeah, so I think for me, I mean, it was clear that they were hell-bent on Maxwell. They went quite far with RCB for him. And once they didn't get him, they were so sure that they wanted Krishnappa Gautam because they went quite a while for him as well. I mean, we all knew that they needed an off-spinning option and ideally an all-rounder. We spoke about that as well, which they were going to get in Gautam. I just didn't see the point in getting two basically the same player in Gautam and Moeen Ali, who are off-spinning all-rounders. I would have gone IDD as you guys pointed out, because they only had one overseas option. So once you miss out on Maxwell, who was your obvious first choice, I would have actually gone for maybe a Hales or a Roy as an explosive option up the order, or maybe just another option batting up the order explosive, because as Kabir said, they're similar batsmen. Because I just don't see Moeen as, I mean, he's a good utility player to have, but if you're getting Gautam, I'm not really sure you needed Moeen as well.
Yeah, I think maybe Roy would be an option, but I think a lot of teams are wary with Hales. So I think
I don't
that's the
understand
trouble at
why.
the
It's only in
moment.
the IPL. He's set the BBL on fire year after year.
That's true. I think it's also just about like handling the locker room. They worried. I don't know. Maybe they're worried about the past disciplinary issues he's had. So
I mean, the only teams
I don't
I
know.
can think that is justified are probably KKR because Morgan leads it, and Rajasthan Royals, which is basically England 2.0. So, I mean, those are the two teams I can understand not having gone for Hales. But the other ones, I mean, he's a pretty good opening bat option. So, well, we'll see. Okay, so best buy. Oh, yeah, one other question. Do you think the Pujara buy was merely an emotional buy to like reward a great servant of Indian cricket, or do you think he'll genuinely play somewhere? There's a role for him.
They needed someone to replace Murli Vijay to eat up balls right at the top.
Man, I think
Um,
Pujara is a better player than Murli Vijay. Thank you.
oh well, no, I don't know about T20s.
No, not T20s, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, overall, absolutely.
Can you
No doubt
imagine? I'm
about
just
it.
picturing this. Chitesh Pujara coming back, coming out to open the batting and plays a cameo of like 30 or 15 balls and just goes out. That'll be something to watch, huh?
Yeah.
I want Pujara to play. I don't know if he will, but I want him to play, and I
Oh,
want
I
him
want
to
to see
really
that.
win. And I want him to do really well, and then I want him to get released so that he goes for loads of money next time in the auction.
If they
Like
have, if they have it in
that's my
Chennai,
dream thing.
if they have it in Chennai, it could be a really good buy because he's one of the best Indian players of spin
Yeah,
in terms of tackling the spin, and his
yeah.
Chennai spins.
Can I tell you something? Like I would like looked at these Chennai buys, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I think the IPL is happening in India because
It
I was like,
100% is.
right? So I was like, yeah, but like a few months ago, I was unsure. But like, I was like, now I'm like confirmed it's happening in India because like, look at the strategy like this team's going for. I mean, they're going for their
Yeah.
spinners, they're going for
More than
bats.
India, it's happening in Chennai in their heads because
Nice. Yeah,
pitch, the players they picked are very similar to their home ground,
yeah.
which is interesting
And
Okay,
it's
you want to talk about the Chennai pitch?
because there's
uh
save that for the test review podcast. How about that?
yeah. I also think it's just clever selection by Stephen Fleming to distract Pujara from his preparations for the World Test Championship final.
That's
If we get
that's
there, if
assuming
we
we
get
get
there, I'm just
there.
saying.
So
That's
let's
assuming we get
hope.
there, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so signing of the season and rating out of 10. Kabir.
Uh, I just, I mean, take anything I say about Chennai with a pinch of salt, but I think they, I don't know, I'll just say six. I think like some like players they bought, I've never heard of these guys.
Okay, so if I give you the
Between
six, you
Gautam
have
and
to
Moeen
also say
Ali,
what they would have needed to do to get a higher grade.
let's see, what did they need to do? Um, did I say they would do well? Yeah, okay, they would do well with an attacking batsman at the top. I think they clearly missed out on that. Some a guy who um, can bat at a strike rate above 150 at top four,
But then that would have had to be in
above
place of
140.
Moeen because they only had space for one overseas player.
Yeah, um, but they got them, and if that's their replacement, then maybe that would work out there. I mean, I think you can always find a spin bowling all rounder amongst Indian cricketers. Like you can find a uncapped guy who you scouted or whatever. I think that's pretty common in Indian cricket. But to get like a super attacking 150 plus strike rate batsman is tough to have because those guys are really elite, right? So they're pretty tough to find. So I think
Yeah,
that's what,
fair.
what they could
And
come for.
signing of the season?
Oh,
There's really only two and maybe Pujara to choose from.
I mean, it's I think it's only really two. I think Gautam's probably the best buy. I think
Fair.
he's proven himself as a solid IPL cricketer.
Noor, rating and best signing.
Best signing, I agree. I think Gotham is the best signing. Um, Rating, I mean, I don't think it was like a six. You gave a six, right, Kabir? I mean, I think it's more like a seven or an eight. I mean, I also find it difficult because they only had that one. I mean, okay, I'm going to give them an eight, and I'm going to be generous here because I think they needed that opening power there. But like, given the circumstances of what they had available in the auction, plus the fact that they only had one overseas spot, like I'm not that upset. Like I see the logic behind going for Moeen Ali. So like I'm not that upset that they didn't go for like an Alex Hales or a Jason Roy. But so yeah, an eight because they got pretty like decently priced players and they got what they needed. So I'm gonna give them an eight.
Yeah, I'll go with a 7. I'll go right in between. I'll go with a 7. I think they needed probably an attacking batsman. I don't think Moeen Ali. I can understand going after Maxwell because he gives you the opening, the attacking batsman, and he gives you an option with the off spinning option. But once you didn't get him, I think they should have changed plan. Instead of going for a direct replacement for Maxwell, they should probably have gone for someone who bats up the order and then gone for Gautam because they were anyway getting that. Especially since they had seen that Hales and Roy had already gone unsold in the batch before that. So yeah, for me that's and I think their signing of the season again is Gautam. There's not really much debate here.